recording. I guess we're already streaming to Twitch. Whatever that's like. Whatever that might mean. Okay, so basically, where things left off last week, we were down in the dungeons below Gladwell Manor, and the players had been taken prisoner by this kind of revealed to be nefarious character, Baron Gladwell, who basically has been, sucking the life out of people and turning them into somnium zombies for, fun and profit. And there was kind of a battle that ensued. I had kind of thought that there wouldn't be an escape from prison that last session, but because of Jerry Duster and his kind of lack of morals and I guess creative action on his part, he blew his way out and killed several people in the process. But before we get there, I think we'll visit the writing prompt from last week if anybody's got something to share.
I do not.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got one.
All right. Why don't you lay it on us then, Ferg?
All right. My friends, well, they're more so traveling companions, business partners, really. What do I think of them? A person should always consider carefully those they keep company with, and I have. Rest assured, I have this lot pretty well figured out. See, a person like me doesn't really have friends. At least, that's what I've always told myself. See, I'm of the belief that you shouldn't be the smartest in the room, but if you should happen to be so lucky, you better have an angle. Opportunities, like assholes, are given to us at birth, yet their value is entirely self-prescribed. The value of these assholes I'm writing with has yet to be determined. Winston, though I've been writing with him for over 2 weeks now, is not a friend. Neither of us can seem to sleep in the other's company, and that's a symptom of a rudish and shallowly buried distrust. He's wearing his wide-brimmed hat low over his face, making a big show of being asleep, as we're jostled down the track in this cart. The bags we're sitting on are full of mail, and besides making for convenient cushions to buffer the harshness of the ride and rut-ruined route, Winston and I have been reading the letters to keep ourselves entertained. Entertained and up to date on that news which is none of my business, my favorite kind. It's not at all uncommon for letters to disappear into the Veldt en route. Perhaps there's a thunderstorm and the track becomes fouled with mud. Maybe the cart is running behind schedule. The best way to cut down on weight is to fling an entire sack of mail at the back of the cart. The caravan drivers call this delivering the mail to the goblins. Most of the letters are purely gossip about people who I am left to only imagine, like storybook characters. There are some, however, that contain useful information indeed. I fold these up and store them in my jacket. Yesterday, I read one from a dandy to his lady, describing how he had struck a vein of jeweled ore. He even supplied the stupid tart with his camp location so that she could return his letter. Unrequited love is far more romantic anyway, I told Winston as I folded the letter into my pocket. I read aloud the professions of love, edited out the parts about the dandy striking it rich. I'm not in the mood for reading just now. I'm too exhausted, and it's too damn hot under the canvas of the mail cart. I roll my bag of gear over so I can open the pack. I root around for the crossbow and begin to lightly untie the leather strip that I used to secure it to the bag. It's free, and I bring it up to level it at Winston. I see him peek from under his hat brim. You know what your problem is, Winston? You have no honor. Fuck you. Of course, neither do I, but for me, it's an advantage. You ain't no doctor, but you gonna wish you were. I can see that he has his hunting knife in his hand. He lunges forward, and I pin him back down with a bolt through his neck, and he begins to gargle. I've nailed him to the wood slats that make up the sides of the cart. I take his knife and toss it out the back. When I'm sure he's bled out, I pitch him out the back, but his hat I keep. The rest, just another delivery to the goblins. I pull the brim low and settle into the mailbags for some rest.
Okay, very nice. That was enjoyable.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's not the usage I intended, but I don't begrudge it after hearing it. So.
Wait, what'd you say?
It's not the usage of the prompt I intended, but that's okay. Like I don't begrudge it after hearing the after hearing the response. Was somebody trying to say something?
Oh, you just you're the only person who's like you're able to hear on the Twitch stream. Like you can't hear us.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's
So
something.
that's probably like a desktop audio issue.
Yeah. Well, it's probably because I'm not sourcing my audio from XSplit, I guess, like or from Zoom or something like that.
Yeah, it should like if you do like I think if it your audio should just be able to like pick up desktop audio or whatever.
Oh well, I'm using a headset. I mean, that's part of it. So that
if you source it from, you can source it from that headset.
Okay. Well, I'm not even in Twitch. I'll pop in here for just a second to see if
That's fine.
I can.
Yeah, if you go to XSplit and you just source it from, I think you should be able to source it from your headset.
Sources. Oh, I see. I need to actually add like an audio source in here.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I can do that real quick here. For some reason, it's not coming up with an option for audio on that front. Let me see. I can probably do. Anyways, now that I know that I can Twitch it, I'll just have to like troubleshoot it for next time.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless it's something I can solve like right now, basically.
It's like the only way that I know that I feel like you can solve it.
Here. What if I do this? Is this changing it at all? Because I might have just fixed it.
Let me listen to it.
Now I have it as a source in there. What if I do this? Is this changing it at all? I might have just fixed it.
Testing.
Now I have it as a source in there.
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Well, I'm getting a little bit of feedback on my end, so I'd rather not deal with
that.
If I hear it, I might.
Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Yeah, I couldn't hear anything, so whatever you did didn't even work anyway.
Okay, I'm gonna stop streaming it out to Twitch.
Yep.
For the time being. Okay. So now we're just back in Zoom Premium Pro. Excellent. Right where we're comfortable. Okay. So we're going to resume this strange scene. And I guess I'll just do a pan over and kind of describe like what the hell has happened here. Basically, there's this kind of keep down in this giant cavern where the players were they first escaped from this kind of crypt-like crevice that had all these somnambulant dead in it. And the somnambulant dead were excited by their possession of these somnium gems. They're basically attracted to them. And it kind of caused them to awaken and attack the party. The party kind of fought this defense under this little rock outcropping and then was kind of freed by somebody tossing a big bag of somnium into the mix that kind of drew the attention off of them. They were then pulled through this portcullis door into this kind of prison yard situation on this raised stone dais. And they got this little speech from the Baron, who then was talking about this, weird old like bottles of stuff that he had and how he fed them to his dogs and it made his dogs huge. And then they broke out of jail basically by kind of blasting their way out, and this big fight ensued. And last we saw, they had killed most of the guards and were now left to contend with the fact that they're these two giant Rottweilers. And we kind of left on a cliffhanger where there was a whistle from the top of this guard tower, which is presumed to have an elevator shaft up to a second entrance to this underground area. And it seems that the Baron was returning and basically calling his dogs. So with that, I think that kind of in reverse fashion from a normal session, we'll do a once around with our characters to kind of check in with them. So let's start with Stephanie Wynn. And since we're introducing Kat this session, maybe do a little bit of extra flourish kind of related to your character so that she gets an idea of who you are.
That sounds good. but I do not remember where I was or what I was
Okay.
doing.
So where you were is, in my memory, you had just tackled this guard or like pulled him down from as he was climbing this fence. It's been 2 weeks since we played last, and you had basically pulled one of the last escaping guards off of his escape up the ladder, and then Dr. Cumberbund had like kicked his throat in or something really brutal. He had like attacked him with his knees. That's what I remember.
Yeah.
which I kind of called into question, and I got kind of kicked back for that, and just justifiably so. I kind of like attack shamed him basically, and so yeah, that's what I remember. You had freed Francesca, and you guys had basically like gone to get the loot that was tied up under the watchtower, and in doing so, you had basically released the hounds, to put it in Burns' parlance.
Okay. So I'm just like introducing my character and what I'm doing.
Yeah, like kind of give us some like general background on your character, and then like what you're doing down here, I guess. Yeah, whatever you want to do. Kind of our typical topic head, like bring us into the session, instead of taking us out of the session.
So my character is Stephanie Wynn, aka Sideshow Steve. Because occasionally I will dress up in a manner that suits me to accommodate whatever I am doing, and sometimes that involves a man named Steve as an alter ego. I have past history with the Baron, who just escaped up, or is actively escaping and calling his dogs up, because I am a somnium addict that he kind of used to infiltrate and sneak around and see what's going on. It has been a day, I think, since we've had one rest, so let's say
it's basically been a day or more, like slightly more, since Stephanie had her last nasty fix.
Yeah. Oh, nasty, right? Sorry, not somnium. I mean,
no problem.
I want somnium, but don't we all? That was a joke. And yeah, so I'm looking to get out of this dungeon. I'm very into how minimal our captivity was, and all right, that's that.
Is Woody still there?
I don't know. Probably not. Someone's moving the camera.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my microphone died. I forgot to do everything to prep for this, apparently, so. So I'll just have to go off my laptop audio. So y'all can hear me then?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, this is what I was saying. I don't think you heard me, but this is, behind her is Dr. Cumberbund Pettyfogger, and we'll let him do his introduction.
Yeah, so it's Dr. Cumberbund, sort of traveling salesman / like kind of opportunist huckster type dude, but he sells Dr. Pettyfogger's curative elixir as his primary product, which is sort of mixed between sometimes being an actual healing potion and other times just being like basically like really shitty liqueur. Let's see. So just from escaping the kind of Baron's captivity here and the heat of this battle to try and free ourselves out of this dungeon, we're kind of in too deep, I guess, to really fix any of the relationship there. Basically, it's time to do whatever we can to survive. Yeah.
And right downstage from them is Langdon Algers, who is a elven ranger, which in this setting kind of means that he's like a surveyor and a border beater. He's kind of a man for hire by the local barons to settle border disputes and do surveying work, that kind of thing. Unlike many rangers and like kind of woodland types, he actually hates all animals and would just really rather prefer to kill any beast that he finds. He's more of like a, think of a red-coated hunter, on a fox hunt or something. He's not a very animal-friendly kind of environmental guy like you might expect. And then just a little bit down from him is this guy in front of the Somnium wand there, which is that cannon-looking thing. And this is Jerry Duster, who is kind of a prospector and a lowlife, previously rich, but kind of fallen from means, and now uses a desiccated somnium zombie hand in order to probe out sources of somnium. And he's kind of the one who caused the big prison breakout here. And right next to him are the Cropper brothers, two farmers who sell pancakes, and they're the only ones that survived the prison breakout, aside from Francesca, who is somewhere around here, and she's another character that, anyways. But the character who we are not sure where he has been or what he's been up to is Trimerius Hergum V. So, Kat, tell us, I'll zoom out a bit and tell us where Trimerius is and what he's been up to / what he's been thinking. Poor little guy.
Oh no. Okay, I don't know where to go with this, Woody.
So just pick a terrain feature and tell us where he's been hiding, because he's been missing. He's been missing from Dr. Cumberbund's jacket pocket.
He's hiding kind of behind the ladder back there.
Okay.
I feel like just scoping things out a bit, things are a little bit more intense than he's used to. So he's just kind of scoping things out, seeing what's going on. Yeah.
Sounds good. So we've got Trimerius there behind this red banner, kind of peeking out, kind of back from Stephanie. And we're going to give you a spot on the timer here and just give us Trimerius's internal dialogue, or what are his thoughts right now. The combat has cleared somewhat. There's no longer a threat from the guards, but now these big dogs, if you can see, they have Francesca cornered there behind the cells, and she is the daughter of Reinhardt, this kind of local merchant, and kind of a relevant damsel in distress type character, basically. So, Trimie, lay some knowledge on us.
Oh shit. Okay. Sidebar. Does this have to do with what we were talking about earlier? About
yeah, you could wait maybe a little bit until the kind of threat level rises, I think would be appropriate, but yeah.
Okay. Shit. I'm
or
so
maybe,
sorry, guys.
Maybe set yourself up in a position to do that, yeah. So you're a little mouse man. What's going through your head? You just start saying stuff and just see what comes out.
I'm kind of imagining him like she's in trouble, she's cornered. I can kind of go through those little cracks in the bars there to just kind of get to her, and at least be okay, what's up? Hey, I'm here. Just show her some support, I think.
Okay, so it occurs to you that you might be able to sneak around the dog and kind of rendezvous with Francesca. Okay, mm-hmm. So we're going to go to kind of the top of the order here, and basically this big dog is snarling with its teeth bared. It's got Francesca cornered behind the cell. This other dog is currently kind of pacing around. Their ears are perked up at the sound of the Baron's whistle, and you can hear above from the watchtower the kind of chinking sound of the elevator platform as it descends, presumably with the Baron on it. And with that, you hear like several short whistles, some short commands coming down, and all of a sudden this dog over here lunges out towards the Cropper brothers and grabs Luca Cropper in his mouth and starts shaking him back and forth vigorously, presumably breaking his neck. And you hear a horrified scream from Marco Cropper. Luca, oh no, Luca, then he's eating you up. And so then we're going to move to Stephanie Wynn's making her action.
Okay. I yell up at the Baron, "You fucking bastard! Get back down here! Call off your dogs!" And then also he insulted me 2 weeks ago. You may remember.
I do remember.
I want to take City Skinner and try to stab at the underbelly of the dog that's going at Francesca.
Okay, you got it. So you got dice?
I do. Well, I have internet dice ready.
Oh, that's real dice.
Yeah.
Real dice. Okay, so presuming you jump down off of the stage here and you move to gut this big pooch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you come up behind it. It seems pretty occupied, so I'm going to give you advantage on your roll. It's effectively like a little surprise action here. So go ahead and stab that dog.
All right. Oh, man. Okay, well, no, because advantage I get to roll twice, right?
Yeah, twice and take the better roll. Yeah.
Okay, well, the better roll is an 11, so.
The better roll's an 11. Okay. So you kind of jump in here and start snipping at this dog, and it kind of notices what you're doing, and it kind of turns its head and quickly snaps back as dogs do, and it causes you to kind of step back and withdraw your attack. You don't get snipped at, but it's now aware of your presence, and it sort of turns a bit to kind of react to you. And so you did a move action and an attack action, so we're going to call that your turn. Then we go to Dr. Cumberbund up there on the platform.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to jump down off the platform kind of over by that brazier there and behind Langdon.
Okay.
And then I'm going to try and use my rapier to kind of slash at the back of its right rear paw there.
Okay, so you jump down and you also pull knife or pull blade and attack the big dog.
Do I get advantage on this?
Yeah. You jumping down, haven't seen you yet.
15.
Okay, 15 hits.
Nice.
So roll your damage.
6 damage.
6 damage. Okay, so you give a good slice on the kind of on the Achilles of this big beast, and it yelps in pain and turns fully so it's facing you two, and its back is now to Francesca. And as it turns its back, Trimerius, he sees his window, and it is your turn, Trimerius.
Cool. So let's pull like a sneak attack using like my fish hook guy. I think that unless that's like not far enough, I guess.
Do you want to take a move action first or an attack action?
Yeah, I want to move to where Francesca is.
Okay, so Trimerius jumps down and scurries across in front of. Are you like sneaking? Are you being stealthy?
Yeah, as stealthy as possible.
Okay, so she sneaks by and to an unbeknownst Dr. Cumberbund and kind of crosses through the bars over here and reaches in front of Francesca. And Francesca at first kind of is startled and goes, ah! Like she, didn't know what you are, or like, is surprised by your presence.
It's okay. It's okay. I got this.
Oh,
right.
It talks.
It's all right. Don't worry. Don't worry. I can repeat. Hello.
Hey, little
Nice to meet
guy.
you.
What have you got there?
Got a nice old fish hook that I'm gonna shove into this dog's butt.
And with that, Trimerius turns and he pulls out a little bit of strong fishing line and a wicked-looking three-pronged fishing hook that's weighted, and he spins it around his head and lets it loose towards this big dog. So make an attack roll, Cat. Trimerius, rather. And
someone can roll for me. I don't have any dice.
yeah, I can roll for you, and I won't be rolling the terrible dice that I was rolling before. Anybody else knows about? One of our group pointed out last week, I've been for a while rolling dice. They're not actually dice. They're actually counters, so they're not the numbers aren't positioned in the right way. So I was rolling really awful last time. That had something to do with it. I was also rolling awful on Caitlin's behalf previously, Stephanie's behalf. Last session.
Sorry, Stephanie was settling in a drug addict.
Just for my own sake. It was kind of appropriate, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Trimerius, he whips this little thing and he throws out his line and he manages to snare his hook in the flank of this great beast, but it hardly notices. And it occurs to Trimerius that these are big dogs, and he recognizes these dogs because he lived in the walls of Gladwell Manor, and he doesn't remember these dogs being so damn big. And yeah, so free action if you want to comment on the size of these dogs, Trimerius.
What happened to them? I don't understand. Why are they so big?
From behind you, Francesca says, the Baron fed them some strange potion and they got all huge.
Man, I want some of that. I could go for some of that stuff. Whatever.
And you're in mid-sentence as this dog rushes forward at the pain of feeling this little fish hook embedded in its butt, and it kind of yelps and moves forward, and you get torn off your feet, and you're now flying through the air holding this line as you trail behind the dog. The dog pushes through past Stephanie, so I'm going to kind of make a rush against you, Stephanie. And it doesn't hurt you, but it just knocks you aside.
All right. And
this thing starts running over. You've hit a nerve with it, and it starts to rush across the scene here. Let me switch cameras. Oopsies, maybe later. Okay. And so as this dog runs over here, this other dog kind of releases forcefully Luca, and he flies, and his kind of limp body lands on the red stage there. He appears to be dead. And with another whistle from the Baron, this beast bends down and grabs Jerry in its mouth, and Jerry, in protest, is bashing it in the face with his pickaxe best he can, and it's kind of grappling with this beast. And we see that as this other beast goes by, Langdon pulls his bow back and he fires a shot toward it, and misses. And it is now Stephanie's turn.
All right. I am going to stay where I am, but I'm gonna try to stab again at the. Actually, no. I'm sorry. Let me take that back. I'm gonna go over to the dog that's actively engaging with Jerry.
Sure. Allow me to interject for just 1 second in case it makes any difference, because I wanted to mention this. When this was clear for some players, and when it wasn't clear for some players, when the players drank this strange potion before, it had kind of curious effects on them that are basically going to give them new somnium abilities. And so Stephanie had, but maybe I introduced this concept last time, but Stephanie had exercised this ability where she could consume a somnium to temporarily gain some insight into what was going to happen. So that's an option for you, and go ahead.
Oh, okay. All right. Yep. I had totally forgotten about that. So, okay. I'm still just going to, I'm going to go over to Jerry, and try to stab at the, like, say the brisket of the dog.
I could go for that.
That's what I want to go with.
So Stephanie darts in front to confront this big beast and stabs at, like, right at its brisket, I think. Yeah. At its brisket.
I got a nat 20.
Oh, okay, so that's a critical hit. So go ahead and roll double damage. That might be a bigger critical for City Skinner. Does it say on your character sheet?
No, I just have a 2d4 for damage. Critical 18 minus 20 times 2.
Yes. So on a 20, you get a times 2.
Oh, 18 to 20 times 2. I made that into like a math problem when it didn't need to be.
So that's definitely something to know. Like, you critical on an 18 for future reference. Yeah, because I think I'd forgotten that too. So you roll a critical hit. So roll 2d4 twice, and make sure you add your extra damage each time if you have extra damage, which I think you do.
Okay, I do. Yeah.
So, you lean forward and, fucking mutt and, like, overhand, like, bring your knife down right into the kind of chest of this big dog.
So that's 15.
Okay, so you stab this thing and it, like, releases Jerry from its mouth, who plops down, who looks a bit beaten, but not too worse for wear. And he says, "That's the ticket." And he takes a swing with his pickaxe at this beast. I'm just rolling all sixes. Okay, and he misses. And then from behind, you see that Luca raises some rock that he found on the ground and throws it towards the dog, and he hits. He has a surprisingly effective hit and smacks this dog in the noggin. And it kind of, you can see it kind of like partially caves in the dog's eye, and this thing turns around and kind of retreats a bit here. Dr. Cumberbund.
I'm gonna move over to. I'm gonna run kind of between the other dog's legs there and try and. I'm going to go over to that Somnium Wand.
Okay, so make a reflex, like a dexterity check to kind of tumble between the legs of this dog.
15.
Okay, so you neatly tumble around, you pop back up, and you're behind the Somnium Wand. And I honestly don't remember whether it had any charges left.
I don't remember.
I'm going to roll a percentile dice, and I'm going to say that at a 50% chance there's charged up here. And okay, it's got a charge in there. It's got, you can tell by the little priming crystal that it's got another round left in it.
Okay. I want to swing it around to that closer dog, that dog on my right.
Okay.
And just point it up as high as I can and shoot at its kind of front legs / chest.
Let her fly. Make an attack. Give the advantage. You're so close.
All right, that's a 14.
It's an easy target too.
That's a 20 there.
Okay, so you let loose this devastating shot from the Somnium Wand. You're going to do double damage, so it's going to be 2d6 and just multiply whatever your roll is times 2.
Oh, nice. 14.
Okay, so is that 14 times 2?
No, that's
14 damage.
7.
Okay, so you blast through the front leg of this dog, and it yelps in pain and kind of goes back on its haunches. And you can see that this is seeing this large animal in pain has really been an exciting thing for Langdon. And he pulls out his rapier and stabs towards the beast's brisket. And unfortunately, he comes short of the brisket. And the dog comes down and is going to make an attack against Langdon. And hits Langdon. And so he basically grabs Langdon by the shoulder and starts dragging him off into the corner here. And as he's doing that, Trimerius, you're kind of hurtling through the air during this whole activity. And I want you to make a reflex save as you come down onto the the back of this beast.
Cool. That's where I was going. So yeah, we're gonna try to get onto the back and then like run up to like his face, take my fork, and like try to stab it into his eyes.
Okay, so you've got a +2 reflex save. So go ahead and I'm going to roll for you an anti reflex. So you roll 15 +2, that's 17. That's going to be enough to, you jump on its back, you roll up, up its spine, and then you raise your fork and bring it down for an attack. So that is a natural 20. Okay, so you take your fork, and this is a sneak attack as well, so you're going to do sneak damage. So basically, you bring down your fork just like right into this dog's already, partially damaged, or no, that was the other dog. But anyways, you bring down your little fork, and you just like pull it in there, and just like you hear this one resolute like, and the dog goes limp and begins to fall over, and falls to the ground, and you go kind of flying off. A little chunk of brisket comes with you as the fishing line gets pulled out of this thing, and you tumble over. You tumble over to in front of the stage here, where you see outlined a large stone, kind of honeycombed wine rack kind of a thing, and one of which there's this empty or partially empty bottle of this strange potion pooled on the ground. And so then we will go to Stephanie once more.
All right.
Stephanie, this beast just went down behind you.
Okay. I'm going to jump back out of the way. I feel like that'd be a natural reaction. So like towards Dr. Cumberbund in the cannon. I'm going to have that be my and then nice moves, little T.
Hell yeah, fork that guy.
That's definitely a fork this is definitely some of us have distinct catchphrases. Gary Duster's being that's the ticket, and I think the fork that is maybe
Hell yeah.
Okay. So you move over there closer to Trimerius and this other big dog.
I will stab at this dog again.
Okay.
Same. Okay, I got a 12.
Okay, so you stab out at the dog, but you don't get a resolute hit. Your knife kisses fur, but doesn't taste brisket this time. And this dog is going to take a little swipe with its paw at you. Natural 1, so take another attack of opportunity here as it swipes out with its kind of like claws out at you.
14?
14 is the AC, so you beat it, so go ahead and roll your damage.
All right. 8.
Okay, so you just like, as it reaches out to scrape at you, you like swiftly plunge your city skinner up through its paw, and it recoils in pain and basically goes down on all fours and kind of into a little like, it backs up into the corner, and it's like, looks like it's very hurt and sad and being submissive now, and it basically like turns over, and as this thing, so that's what happens. It's like, it's given up basically. Dr. Cumberbund.
Let's see. I want to kind of make a look around the room and see if I can see who's all kind of present here.
Okay, make a perception check.
An 8.
Okay, you look around and you see kind of the aftermath. You see this one cell that's been blasted open, and inside are the headless remains of the Chopper brothers, the lumberjacks, Arnaud and Pierre, who Sam blew their heads off in order to escape from his cell, because they were baited with somnium chokers, basically, so that if they escaped, they would just be consumed by the somnambulant dead. But Jerry used his magic to make the somnium gems explode and blow off their heads, and in the process free himself. And you see an empty cell there. You see one of the Cropper brothers, Luca, or that's Marco, I think. He has survived. And you see him rushing off to attend to his injured and possibly dead brother. You see one dog, big dog corpse, and then you see Francesca off in the corner, kind of emerging from her, hiding spot. And then to nearby her, you see, hold on, one of the guards, gored on a spike, the one that had fallen off the watchtower, and you managed to get Stephanie and Francesca managed to work together to get his keys off of his ring to free the rest of you. What you don't see as you look around is someone who has arrived at the top of the watchtower, and you don't see him until he definitely slides down the rope ladder there and joins the scene. And where the hell is he? Baron miniatures. Oh yeah, there he is. So the Baron Gladwell, looking furious, slides down this rope ladder and lands on this platform there. He's holding his large Corvalin wand in his hand, and it looks locked and loaded. And he says, "You filth! How could you do this?" And he raises his wand and he fires it directly into Marco's chest. He doesn't know who's responsible for this whole situation. And in a great red flash, his wand expends a blast of fire. And just as a kind of a side note, Cat, guns in this game are referred to as wands.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a kind of small detail, but anyway, it's just a flavor thing mostly. But then they're not like very modern guns, but they run off of this. They're basically, instead of taking bullets and powder, they just are charged with a somnium gem.
Okay, cool.
So he fires off his wand into the chest of Marco, who just is blown to bits. Basically, a big hole is ripped into his chest, and he falls backward, joining his brother in exploration. And you see that the dim kind of smoke coming from the toe crystal indicates he's got another one in the barrel, so to speak. So yeah, you've still got your action, Dr. Cumberbund.
All right, I'm gonna kind of go duck down there behind the body of the dog there, and
Okay.
I'm gonna take a shot at him with the crossbow.
All right, so you slide in behind the corpse of this dog to gain some cover, and you raise your crossbow and set it right on top of his brisket there.
I like that that's a thing now.
I do too, yeah.
I got a 16.
Okay, 16. So you fire a crossbow bolt at the Baron, and you strike him. So roll your damage.
1 damage.
So you kind of graze his thigh, and he goes, "Insolent dog! You've killed my insolent dogs!" And he kind of runs across the stage, and he jumps down there. He's going to kind of check out, and there's this one cowering guard there still by the door behind this big dog. That's all. There's now 2 cowering animals and the Baron there in the corner. Trimerius, it is your turn. You are there by the little potion rack.
Cool.
And there's also kind of paradoxically, or strangely juxtaposed, there's this kind of wandering zombie who now has been excited by the Baron's presence.
Okay, cool. So I'm interested in this bottle. So I'm gonna pick up this bottle. I'm not sure what it does though. Yeah, I have a feeling of what it does, but I'm like, I'm trying to be a little wary of just I don't want to down the whole thing. So I'm just going to kind of dip my finger in there and then just kind of try it and see what happens.
So you take a sniff of this thing, and using your almost supernatural ability for detecting scents, you can tell this is some funky stuff. It smells old and ethery and very. It's stinky with magic, basically.
Cool. Yeah, let's try just a little bit. Let's try a little bit and see where that goes.
Okay, so I want you to just make a strength check to see if you can even really finagle this bottle up properly. So, because it's almost as big as you are.
Oh shit! Do I have to climb on top of it or something?
So I'm gonna make an effort here to raise the bottle, and you kind of get it tipped up, and more of the potion than you intended sloshes out of the bottle and kind of all over you, basically, and
Cool.
washes you in this stuff. And at first, it burns a little bit, and then you've also you're coughing it up partially. You swallow some of it, and you are you're in the midst of being covered and consuming this strange elixir.
Cool.
And
now we go to Stephanie.
all right. I'm going to go after. Oh, you know what? No, I'm sorry. I'm gonna ingest some somnium and see what that does for me in my future sight.
Okay. So yeah, go ahead and you mark a gem off of your little book.
Yeah.
There. How much have you got, by the way?
Only 2 because I split
Okay.
them up to do that whole "don't look at me" somnium zombies thing.
Right
So
on.
this is one left.
So you, kind of raise some somnium up to your forehead instinctively, and it kind of absorbs kind of in the space above and between your eyes. And as you do so, you can almost feel like this, third eye opens up, and you can see,
Way cool.
you perceive that they're you see these kind of tracers, I think is what we were calling them before.
Yeah.
And you see that you can kind of see this vision of the Baron pushing aside his guard and jumping on the back of this dog. It looks like he's going to jump on this thing and ride it, escape on it, basically.
I want to try to run in between the Baron and the dog in a way that would stop his trajectory.
So I'm going to call the consumption of the somnium there, an attack equivalent action. And so you move between there, and what he was going to do, so you're going to take an advantage on your next attack on the Baron.
All right, sounds good.
So you step between the Baron and the dog, and as you do so, the dog kind of cowers away from you, and this guy in front of you, thinking that this other guard, thinking that you're trying to attack him, he pushes out with his spear, and he hits you with his spear.
All right.
For 4 damage.
Okay.
Gives you a slice on your arm as you kind of parry the attack with your city skinner knife. And Dr. Cumberbund.
All right. I'm gonna say to Jerry and Langdon, all right, let's sneak around. Let's capture him. Let's get him. I'm gonna make a move.
Going out the portcullis here.
What's that?
Where are you gonna sneak to?
I'm gonna sneak up. I'm gonna go and crawl underneath the platform.
Okay. So Langdon gets what you're saying, and he dives under the stage there, or he attempts to, but he just kind of basically gets down. He goes to a spot where he thinks there's going to be an opening, and there's not quite an opening, so he gets hung up. But you go ahead and make a dexterity check to dive under the stage here in one motion.
That's a 10.
Okay, so he got a 4 on his roll. You jump down, you kind of slide under the stage there, and so you are out of sight. And Jerry, he looks like he has other plans. He goes off this way towards the portcullis door. And so you've taken a move action. You can take a standard action or like an attack action if you like.
Let's see. Yeah. I'll go ahead and I'll try and I'll take another shot with I have to look how many crossbow bolts I've got.
You could also just do another move action if you wanted. You could do 2 move actions.
Okay. Yeah, I'll crawl further out to get towards the fence back.
All right. So make like a sneak or like some kind of a stealth check here.
21.
Okay, so the Baron is obviously occupied with this upstart young lady who has kind of like gotten directly in the way of his plans. And as he's engaged with that, you sneak around and you pop out here right nearby, kind of out of his field of vision. And you can see there's now kind of this whole cluster going on here because this Somnium zombie is going headed after the Baron too, who inevitably is packing some Somnium. And Trimerius, it is now your turn. And as you sit there roiling in the fumes of this strange elixir, you feel some fire brewing in your belly, and all of a sudden your body is racked with violent spasms as you feel like yourself stretching and boiling, your veins rippling in, you start to like stretch and grow big. And as you do so, you get all big and hulked out.
All right, that's awesome, cool.
And so now the way this is going to change your stats is that it's going to decrease your armor class and increase your strength and your hit points. So when you're in this form, we'll double your hit points. We'll make your armor class 14 instead of 20.
Cool.
And your strength will be a +4 instead of a -3.
Cool. Is this zombie in front of me? Is that friendly or is that enemy?
So it's a like unintelligent creature. Generally, it's like safe to assume that it's an enemy, but it is something that appears to be motivated purely by the desire to find and ingest somnium gems. And a little bit more backstory on the somnambulent dead. They're also called hollow men or shakers because of their like habit to kind of like shake violently from time to time to kind of like they make this sickening rattling sound when their bones clatter together. But these are individuals who have been pulled, had their somnium pulled from them so many times that they basically lose their connection to, whatever divine kind of source that they kind of gives them life and related to the dreams and all this stuff. And so they just become, after a while, they become empty zombies and they just thirst to consume somnium. That's like all they care about.
Cool.
So it looks like it's going after the Baron because he's presumably the one who's got the most somnium on his person.
Okay, cool. And just can I just get like a recap of what just happened before my turn?
So basically that one dog was killed, and now the Baron has like arrived back on the scene, and it looks like he was planning to run away on the back of his big hound there, but Stephanie kind of interceded and stood in his way, and so there's kind of this whole fray going on. It's a little fray of battle here.
Cool. So I want to go. If I can, in the most like stealth. I don't know if I can in a stealthy way, but I kind of want to like behind the Baron and kind of like hold him back or like I don't know, threaten him with my fork in his neck or something like that.
Yeah. So your gear just got big with you and kind of twisted and weird, so you've got basically the same stuff you had on you before, but just a big version of it.
Sounds good.
You've got this hollow man between you and the Baron, and then you could go around the shaker. So you want to reposition yourself over here. Mm-hmm. Okay. And what are you trying to do?
Just like grab him from behind.
Okay, yeah. So we'll just have you make an attack against him, a grappling attack, and then if you hit, we'll have you roll. Oh, okay. So it was a natural one on this grappling attack. So you reach out to towards the Baron, but kind of awkward in your new form and with your new physical proportions, you like grossly misdirect yourself, and you just end up running into the door over here. You're kind of not used to this new body. You kind of like bounce off of that door, and you take 1 point of subdual damage.
Cool.
And so dual damage is damage that'll wear off, after combat. Basically, it's not persistent wound kind of damage.
Mm-hmm.
Try me. Okay. So the Baron says, "Get out of my way, Stephanie. I don't want to make this ugly any uglier than you already are." And he raises his he raises his Corvalin wand at your face.
Oh man. Okay, well, that makes me slightly less sassy than I was intending to be. Okay, I'm gonna hands up and back away, but like towards the dog, because the dog still seems injured and afraid of me. So I want like my back moved towards the scared dog and away from the Baron.
Okay. So yeah, you're squared off, and this guy with the spear is still there, kind of threatening your space. So
Right.
just as a reminder.
Look, no need for wands here, all right? Put the wand down, and we'll handle this.
The Baron looks flustered. I'm gonna say you can make a charisma check though.
All right.
I'm gonna say you're also gonna take disadvantage though, but it's worth a shot.
Oh, I got a 21.
With disadvantage.
Oh, wait, sorry. What is disadvantage?
You roll twice and take the worst roll.
Oh, man. Okay, I got a 6.
Oh, okay. Well, at first the Baron seems kind of like, maybe he's reminiscing on old times. He kind of cocks one eyebrow, and then he says, "Tell you what, I'll cut you a deal. Jump on my hound with me, and we'll get the hell out of here. And I can't say that you'll be at my right hand, but maybe I can find a comfortable bungalow somewhere for you."
All right. I look at him and give him a casual nod, and then I jump on the dog.
Okay, so you jump on the back of this dog, and I don't have any way to visually represent that besides just me.
I'll remember it. Yeah.
And the Baron, you see, he pulls out his rapier and he has a couple parries as he kind of slices and then cuts down this zombie, and it goes down. He separates its head from its shoulders, and he jumps behind you on the back of the hound here. Then he kind of reaches forward and grabs it by the ears, and it yelps in protest and rears upward. And now we'll move to Dr. Cumberbund.
Real quick though.
Yeah.
Can I, because it's not an action, can I look over and just wink at Francesca?
Yeah, I think we'll say that Francesca was closer to the action here. She's edged her way in.
All right.
And she looks horrified by this action of you mounting the dog with the Baron. Horrified and betrayed at the sisterhood you formed in the cell there. And and then she sees your wink. And actually, I'm going to give her a perception check to make sure that she can see your wink. I don't think that she really sees the wink. She's kind of dark in here. She looks kind of confused. She's like, "What the what?" Okay, move to do a little. Jerry has disappeared from the scene. Like he kind of slipped out under the portcullis while no one was watching, and Langdon here is where the hell is Langdon? Oh yeah, Langdon's finally found his way to the stage, and he just is like his head's poking out as it becomes Cumberbund's turn.
Okay. I'm gonna continue to sneak along the gate and that doorway there.
You see this strange almost mutated form of Trimerius, and he's nearly as big as you are, with these rippling muscles and large teeth. And I want you guys to have a minute interaction here, so go for it. Dialogue.
Oh, Trimerius, looking good. Well, maybe not good, but
It's something. It's something. I don't know how to work it, but we'll find out.
all right. Follow me. Don't run into anything.
All right, sounds good. I'll try.
All right, go for it, Cumberbund. What's your action?
I'm gonna sneak along the door there and try and go behind the spear guy and see if I can kind of hop up the back leg and try and mount up on the dog as well.
Okay. Make a jump check. There's a little bit of spot on the brisket, I think.
Yeah, a little more.
There's one more serving of brisket, is what I'm saying.
I got a 15.
Okay, so you kind of sheath your sword and you jump and you like kind of bump up against the Baron, who is now sandwiched between you and Stephanie, as he kind of cries out, "What in the devil?" And so yeah, all three of you are on the dog, and all of a sudden you hear Langdon say, he cries out and he said, "If you just would have given me a job," and then he fires his bow at the dog. And 19, so that's a definite hit. And okay, and so he shoots an arrow and it hits in this in the haunch of this dog, slightly below the brisket, and the dog just tears off. He kind of starts running around, and then after a few paces, kind of goes to the ground and just like skids down. His paws collapse from under him, and you're all thrown off of the back of the beast. Didn't have much life left in him. So I want you all to make a reflex save, and the Baron's going to make one as well.
What's the reflex save? Was that
Dexterity.
Dex check?
Yeah.
I got 17.
Yeah, I got a 3.
All right, so the Baron and Dr. Cumberbund land on their feet. Stephanie kind of lands in a heap on top of the dog, who breathes its last breath, and Stephanie feels the exhale, and there is no inhale. So Stephanie, it is sad, yeah. Big dude. So Stephanie, go ahead and take your action. You're prone on top of this dog.
Okay, I want to stand up and I jump up and go behind the Baron, because we're still close enough, right? He's still in
you
his
stand
way.
up, and you see there, and Francesca is looking at you like, "What the fuck?" And yeah,
I'm not gonna wink again.
She's not happy about it.
It's not cool.
It didn't work so well last time. And so yeah, you've taken a move action. If you would like an attack action.
No, I just want to. What's the plan now at the Baron?
Okay, make a charisma check on that. I want to see how convincing you are with kind of getting him back on your side.
I'm probably the most convincing. 18.
Oh, okay. He says he's in a desperate situation, and he seems the type to take allies where he can find them. So he kind of gets back to back with you, and he says, "I think we can take him." And you see he pulls out from his pouch a few pieces of somnium, and he holds them up to his priming crystal, and kind of loads up his wand. And Dr. Cumberbund, it is your turn. Actually, I think we skipped Trimerius. Trimerius, it's your turn.
Okay, give me 1 second. I'm stuck here.
So you're back by the door there. And the Baron and his little guardsmen are really the only threats left, and possibly Stephanie.
Okay. Oh, I see.
Wow.
Okay. I was trying to figure out, like, is Baron good now? I'm trying. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna run to the Baron's front I think. And then like just kind of like hold up my fork at him and just kind of like threaten him a little bit.
Okay. So you run forward and you menacingly hold your fork at the Baron, which he looks at. I mean, he looks at you and he has like no idea what's going on with you. He's like totally bewildered by your presence. He sees like his like father's cutlery like in all like gigantic form, and he's like a little bit overloaded. And at that, he just like pulls the trigger and he fires at you.
Oh fuck!
And, but he misses as the blast. You duck and the blast goes over your shoulder. So now I will go to Dr. Cumberbund. Kind of sorry for screwing up the turn order there.
Okay, but I'm like pretty much right next to the Baron, though, right?
Yeah. You would have tumbled and been like right in the mess there. Although, like, I don't know if he's even noticed you. There's a lot.
Yeah. Would it be possible to do a? I want to do like kind of like a sleight of hand and try and get his his somnium pouch.
Yeah, you could try to take steal and rob his purse there. If you don't have sleight of hand specifically, just make a dexterity check, and we'll just do kind of opposed dex rolls here for the Baron.
Yeah, I do have sleight of hand.
Okay, well then if that's better than your dex bonus, then use that bonus.
It's the same.
Well, it shouldn't be the same, I wouldn't think.
Yeah, I think I messed up doing my skills.
Maybe add it to your dex bonus.
All right.
Do it as if it were ranks for the purpose of this.
15.
All right. In his compromised state, the Baron takes almost no notice as you greedily reach in and just like rummage around in his purse, and you pull out this handful of somnium. And you've got 8 somnium pieces that you empty his purse of.
Sweet.
And then we're going to have Trimerius' turn now, since we skipped over last time. So Trimerius, he just shot a wand over at you, and you see him get robbed by Dr. Cumberbund.
Kind of stuck here. Shit. Sorry about this. Okay, so I'm gonna attack his guard.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna use.
And so let me just do a little bit of elucidation on your kind of mechanics here. So you've got 3 weapons. You've got your fork, which is like a 2-handed weapon for you. You've also got your claws, which you have to you could make 2 attacks with your claws.
Yeah, I think I was going with the claws.
You going with the claws?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So while you're in your big form, we'll say that your claws are a D8 rather than a D4. So I can roll that for you if you're going to claw this dude. All right. So you basically stow your fork and you reach out with your claws, and you reach out with both hands and claw at this guy. So I'm going to take 2 attacks on this guard, and that's an 18 and a natural 20. So you pull out your claws for the first time. You let out a roar, and you just go to town on this guard and basically just rip his chest out. And there's just intestines and stuff pulling out, and he just goes down. And Langdon from behind you, not historically a fan of your people, just his jaw is on the floor basically. He's like, well, holy shit, And he's and the Baron. He also looks horrified. So with that, he turns and he says, okay. It's like, we can come to some arrangement here. He takes his wand and he sets it on the ground. And as he does so, as he's sitting on the ground, you can see his hand goes back to his purse. He's about to perform some nefarious action. But as he grasps at his purse, he finds it empty. And he goes to basically retrieve his wand from the ground. He takes back the feint. And at this moment, Stephanie Wynn.
Yeah, I'm going to try to cut off that hand.
Okay, make an attack. And we'll give you advantage. She's in an exposed situation.
Okay, well, it still isn't great. 14.
14, okay. So as he goes to retrieve his wand, you slash out with City Slinger. So City Skinner. City Slinger?
Skinner.
City Skinner.
Yeah.
City Slinger? All right, City Skinner, and roll your damage.
All right. 8. Sorry, I didn't say that clearly.
So you slice open his wrist, and he starts bleeding profusely. He grabs one hand to it, and he goes, "Ah, bitch!" And he turns and attempts to fire his Corvon wand at you, and he misses.
And I spit at him.
Okay, Dr. Cumberbund.
I'm gonna use one of those pieces to charge up my own Colvarian wand.
This is the one that he has. Is the one that you previously had, I think.
Bummer, man.
He's got it. He's got, and we learned before that you have to have his signet ring on your finger in order to fire the wand.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, you're gonna have to take it back from him if you want to use that. But you got your crossbow.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna use one of the. Let's see. What's the radius of an explosion from one somnium gem?
We'll say that it's got a 10-foot radius, so it'll if we were in squares, it would affect a full radius around the square. I guess we do have squares there. We can use those.
Okay, cool. All right, yeah. I'm gonna try and just run at him and tackle him. Get a little running start and just try and take him out at the knees.
Okay, rush him. Go ahead and make a touch attack on him.
9.
All right, so you rush at him and you kind of hit him, but he kind of brushes you off, and he turns and kind of regains his footing, and he sees that he's surrounded by enemies, and he rushes over here and he's going to grab on Francesca, and he's going to try to basically put her under the knife. He grabs her and he holds the Corvalin wand to her head, basically. He's like, all right, that's enough. Everybody drop your weapons or she fucking gets it. I'll blow her goddamn head off. I don't give a shit. I'll blow her head off.
I don't know why you think we give a shit either.
Stephanie, if you don't want trouble, you better tell your friend there, put his weapon down.
All right. I think we can work something out here. What if, Baron, you just back away from Francesca, and I want to. Oh wait, it's not my turn. Never mind. I'm gonna say that.
Okay, that's fine. And all of a sudden, we hear the twang of a bow as Langdon takes a shot. He takes the risky shot and fires at the Baron. And he hits. It's a meet it hit, but he hits. And he does just kind of, he barely scrapes the Baron's shoulder here. It comes very close to hitting Francesca, who cries out and is not so pleased at that risk of that action. She throws an elbow back and gets the Baron in the guts. And when she's free, she runs back over here. So she's no longer, impressed, so to speak. Oppressed? I don't know. Anyways. And so, whose turn is it going to be now? I think it's the Baron's turn. Whose turn do we just have before that? Is that the Baron's turn? Who's tracking?
We just have my turn?
Yeah,
Okay, so it's Trimerius' turn.
Yeah.
Cool. Let me see. So I imagine my my fish hook is kind of big.
Yeah, it's like a grappling hook now. Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of want to throw that at him and just kind of like catch him.
Making a ranged attack. Or I guess I make one for you.
So just move a little. Yeah, I'll move a little within range, I guess, and then I'll throw it at. I'm gonna throw it try to aim for his. Oh, I don't know. I think I'm gonna aim for his feet.
Okay.
Just kind of knock him over.
Yeah, so you're going to take a swipe and get him under his feet. Unfortunately, apparently, you're still adjusting to your form. I rolled a natural 1, So as you swing this thing, you let it go, and it looks like it's a pretty accurate throw, but you forget to kind of like grab the other end of it, so it just like spools out, and the string goes out, the rope goes out of your hand, and you
Damn
lose
it.
the grappling hook, and it kind of just lands somewhere behind the Baron. And
I
in
really
response, the Baron's going to loose a charge from his wand. What's your armor class? To 14. So he fires at you but misses, and the blasts into the gate behind you and kind of like blasts the doors open of this gate, basically. So to represent that, I'm going to just kind of tip it downward. Open gate. And now let's make it Stephanie's turn.
Okay, I want to. Oh, can I should have done this previously. Do I have any idea that Dr. Cumberbund stole that pouch?
I don't think so.
Probably not. Okay. All right. Francesca, are you all right?
I'm fine. Let's drop this son of a bitch.
Let's
All
do
right.
it.
I wanna hand Francesca my slingshot.
Okay. She picks it up and she hands it up. She puts out her other hand to accept ammunition.
All right. I don't think I have any ammunition. I think there's like a found sort of thing.
You could give her that last. You could give her that last piece of somnium.
It's more
Oh,
of a
man.
ceremonial gesture.
All right. I will give her the last piece of somnium.
All right. She smiles and then she exaggeratedly winks at you, and she draws back
nice.
she draws back the slingshot and fires it at Baron. And she hits nearby, and there's an explosion as that kind of blasts by the Baron, and it kind of shakes him off. And I'm going to say that he has a chance of dropping his wand here if he doesn't succeed in a dexterity check. Okay, he got a 3 on his dexterity check, so he kind of flails, and his wand is dropped, and it skitters across the floor towards the 3 of you. And he's kind of like singed, and he kind of comes up, and his like mustache is kind of like a little bit disheveled, and his hair is a little bit disheveled. His like nice crisp red felt coat is all like kind of singed and tarnished now, and he looks like kind of like desperate. And you see him pull something from behind his back, and he says, "One last sip for the Red Prince." And he pulls open this bottle, and he downs a big thing of nasty. And you see, as he does so, he smashes the bottle on the ground, and he cries out in this bellowing, like deep roar, like "Roar!" And he gets all kind of juiced up. And to Dr. Cumberbund.
I'm gonna dash forward and try and grab the wand that he threw off.
Okay, so you dash forward and you pick up the wand.
Nice. Let's see. Yeah, I'll go ahead and
and just to reiterate, you got to have the ring to operate the wand.
Right. I want to take one of those pieces of somnium, and I'm gonna throw it. Just kind of basically chuck it on the ground between the Baron and that little brazier thing.
Okay. Yeah. So go ahead and make an attack.
Still get a 7.
Okay, so you throw in their explosion. The Baron dives out of the way, but doesn't quite make it as he gets hit by a blast from the somnium. So he's got 11 damage on him now.
Okay.
And he's a little further back this way. Okay, Trimerius, your grappling hook is there, kind of by the cannon, by the wand.
Well, can I let me see. I'm gonna try to I don't know if I care about it right now. I just kind of want to grab him, kind of move. I think maybe like if I can like climb up onto the stage and like pounce onto him and kind of like knock him down.
Yeah, so just make a jump check against a failure. I guess I'll make it for you. Okay, so you jump up on the stage in one big bound, and you get up there, and you really like hardly even have to jump. So I'm just going to give this a chance to reiterate another one of your abilities. Trimerius has a move speed climb, so on any but all the most slippery or kind of unforgiving of surfaces, Trimerius can move his normal speed while climbing up walls or like climbing across stuff. He's such a natural climber that he doesn't have to make climb checks really. He can just so he just like climbs right up over on top of the stage and then pounces down with 2 claws at the Baron.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you pounce outward, but the Baron he definitely steps away, and both your attacks miss. But you're now down here engaged with the Baron, and it is now the Baron's turn. He withdraws his rapier. He draws his rapier, and he takes a slash at you with his rapier. But he does not hit you. And so with that, he steps back and begins to withdraw. He's headed for the elevator shaft. And he jumps up here out of your way, and it goes to Tiffany.
All right, I'm going to try to... Wait, hold on. Let me see. I want to run at the Baron. How far away am I from him?
Maybe 20 feet.
Can I get to him in one movement?
Yeah, if you just dash at him, you can get to him.
Yeah.
So make a jump check against a failure to jump the little step up there. Yeah. So roll a jump check and don't get a 1.
What? Yeah, okay, I got an 8.
Okay, so you jump up on the stage here, and you race back towards the Baron. And, you catch up with him.
Where do you think you're going? And then I'm going to try to literally stab him in the back.
Okay, make an attack. And he's exposed, so take advantage.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you for that. Okay, that makes it better. That gives me a 14.
A 14. Okay, so that is his armor class. You hit. Roll your damage.
Alrighty.
Are you taking your one-handed advantage and everything right now? All that stuff's factored in?
I wasn't, but thank you.
Okay.
That leaves me with a 5. It was a really bad.
Okay.
Bad roll.
So you get him and give him a good stab. He shrieks out and he says, "Okay." And as he's trying to talk you out of stabbing him, he is going to try to swipe you with his rapier and continue up the ladder. But he doesn't hit you. Dr. Cumberbund.
All right. I'll jump up on the platform there.
Okay, against a failure, make a jump check.
14.
You jump up and you catch up with Stephanie here.
All right. Is he on the ladder at all yet? Or?
He's got a hand on the ladder and he's kind of fighting off Stephanie trying to get up.
All right. Let's see. I'm gonna grab onto the ladder on the kind of left side of the Baron there. I'm gonna try and yank the rope ladder out of his hand.
Okay, make a strength check.
9. Yes.
I'm roll opposed to him. He's 2 step on SC. Okay, he still rolls poorly. So he goes, "Ah!" As the rope slips out of his hands, he turns and grimaces towards you with veins kind of popping out of his neck. And Trimerius, it is your turn.
So he's still on the ladder, right?
Yeah. He got the ladder pulled away from him. So he's just now standing there with Cumberbund and Stephanie.
Okay. Let me see. I'm gonna they want to like crawl or climb. I'm sorry, like kind of like up the side of that like scaffolding railing kind of situation, and just kind of like close him in from all sides. Kind of take high ground there, and just be like, you're trapped. You've got nowhere to go, man.
With the deftness of a rodent, Trimerius scrambles along and up this post and gets to the top of the ladder and starts to sort of, hang down by his tail, kind of hissing at the Baron all the while. And once again, the Baron is cornered here, and he knows it. And in his nasty-fueled rage, he starts to lash out. And again, he kind of reaches for his somnium pouch and finds it's empty. And he's kind of like screaming and like crying. He's like definitely coming apart. And he's like, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean to. It's the damn nasty. And he flashes out with his rapier. God, but he misses. So Stephanie, it's your turn again.
I don't want any of your excuses, you bastard. Stab. I'll roll my attack roll. I'm still stabbing. I'm still going at him.
Still stabbing. Stephanie wins. Still stabbing. Stephanie win, still stabbing. Okay. So yeah, make an attack against the Baron.
9.
Damn. You miss.
Oh well, no, sorry. I got an 18. My damage was a 9.
Oh, 9 damage. Okay, so you whip out with your knife, and we're having a dramatic moment here. Say your last words to the Baron.
Oh man, I wish I could remember what he said to me. That's not my last words. You sack of shit. That's what I want to say.
And you stab him in the guts, and you bury City Skinner in 6 or 8 inches deep. And his guts start to, spill out onto the sleeve of your shirt, and he looks horrified as the blood pools away from his face. He goes down on his knee, and he says some final sentiment, but it's lost in as the blood pours out of his mouth, and he falls to the ground, and he's dead. So congratulations. Congratulations. And then Langdon comes up and he says, a shame to spill such noble blood, but a necessary ill, I'm afraid. And everyone kind of rolls their eyes at Langdon in that instance. And everyone, all of a sudden, you have a moment here to grab any treasure or whatever before something happens. Something else happens. You have a round.
I wanna grab that signet ring off of his finger.
Okay, you pull the signet ring from the Baron's still warm hands and slip it onto your finger, and you now have everything you need to operate the Corvallen wand.
Can I search his body for any remaining nasty?
Yes. So you search his body, and he's, his purse is expended there, but he does have his rapier. He does have a little, I think it's called a coif. It's like a little golden piece of armor that would go around your neck. And so it's almost like a fat necklace, but if you wanted to take his coif, that could be another additional armor slot for you.
Yeah, I will take that happily.
Yeah. So that kind of fits around the V of your blouse there. And then you do find a little flask full of nasty.
Nice.
And yeah, that's all you find on his person. He's expended his jewels. Okay, Dr. Cumberbund and Stephanie. Okay, Trimerius, is there anything you're going after?
I need to go pick up my hook. I need that back.
Okay, you
So
grab that.
Yeah.
You easily climb down those stairs, and you pick up your fishing hook. And then there was also that chest that had all your previous gear in it, and it also had some somnium. So whoever, I guess, Trimerius, if you want to retrieve that chest.
Let's do it.
In that chest is 4 pieces of somnium. 4 more pieces of somnium.
Cool. I'll take them.
Okay. So we'll add that to your, I'll write it down with your sheet here. 4 pieces somnium nuggets. 4 pieces wish nuggets. Okay. And you're kind of collecting stuff up, and Langdon is there kind of, rifling through things as well. He grabs a couple bottles of this strange wine that he's so fixated on, and I need to make a note of that. Langdon grabs the wine.
Man, I wish Langdon proper was here to find this wine.
Oh. And as you're scooping up all this treasure, all of a sudden you hear a scream from back beyond the wall, and you hear a voice of Jerry Duster saying, "This is not the ticket." And he says, "Run, everybody run!" And all of a sudden, from this blasted open gate, the somnambulant dead start to pile through and spill through. There's just tons of them, basically, an unknown number, and they're headed right for you. And Langdon says, "Okay, nice knowing you, Jerry," and he rushes past and he starts to climb up this ladder. Okay, so Stephanie.
All right. I have very little somnium on me, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna rush towards the somnium zombies, and I want to tell Francesca to run behind me and get up the ladder.
Okay. So as you shout out to Francesca and you move towards the pooling mass of hollow men, Francesca, she nods and she jumps up and she starts to ascend the ladder and move up that to the platform, the elevator platform. Dr. Cumberbund. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, instead of attacking, can I third eye it?
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
With my somnium. Yeah. So I would like to do that. So I take my last piece of somnium and I put it up to my forehead.
Okay. You see this kind of a river of motion kind of wash over you, and these tracers kind of blind your field of vision as you see, all these somnambulant dead pile in, and you see them kind of a blur of red haze as they're ripping apart and catching fire as they kind of, consume you and your companions in this vision, basically. And yeah.
Sam just texted all of us. Sorry.
Oh yeah. What did he say?
Yeah. Are you guys playing?
Yeah. I'll send him an invite. This would be an interesting time if he could jump in right now. Okay, just a second. I'll send him a quick invite. If somebody would tell him that we're playing still.
Fergus just did.
Okay.
Dr. Cumberbund.
Okay, I sent him an invite. Yeah, so is that's your motion for now. Dr. Cumberbund, it is your turn.
I think he thought my turn was going to take a little longer.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to take this moment to take a bathroom break real quick.
Okay, I think I'll do that too then, in that case.
I'll stare at y'all's empty screens.
There he is. That was actually a Zoom Pro invite.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
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 Do you have any somnium on your person, Jerry?
No.
Jerry, you to catch you up, there was a big encounter that went down, and they killed some dogs, and they killed the Baron, and Trimerius drank a potion that made him big and strong, and that's him right there. And basically, Langdon and Francisca are up the ladder, headed to the elevator shaft because, after everybody collected up the treasure, the somnambulant dead are pouring through, kind of invading the space, thirsting after the somnium, and you're kind of back there in the midst of them, kind of like caught in the stampede, basically.
Whoa.
So
this is still kind of the aftermath of that big battle we had 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, basically what's happened since then is that, basically it still was a continuation of that battle. After most of the guards were killed, the dogs, they duked it out with the dogs and killed the dogs, and then they had this kind of confrontation with the Baron, and you had kind of snuck around through the portcullis, presumably, to kind of close in from the other angle, but kind of got caught up when the zombies woke up, and you're kind of caught up in the stampede back there now, and you just had told everybody to run, get out of here, basically.
Okay.
So why don't we take it from your action then? I think we were actually at Trimerius's action. So what are you doing, Trimerius?
Well, I've got somnium, so they're gonna come after me. I kind of want to hand it off and then go fight them. I'm sorry, who's going up the ladder right now?
Langdon and Francesca are up the ladder.
They're all the way up the ladder already?
Yeah, they're headed to the elevator.
Oh, okay, cool. Who else is okay, never scratch that. I think I'm just gonna show up and just join Stephanie over there and brandish my hook.
Okay.
And I'm gonna kind of throw it into the mob and see if I can knock a few of them down, aiming toward their feet.
Okay. Jerry, you got a free action. You see Trimerius brandishing this big grappling hook, basically.
Okay.
If you want to shout out something.
Oh, okay. Save me, I guess. Save me. I'm trying to do you a favor, man.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go over there and essentially save Jerry. We're gonna pull him away, I guess, from everything.
Where exactly am I at, Woody?
Yeah, I'm confused on that too.
Right there.
Oh, you're right there. Oh, I see.
Okay, so if they're at the top of the ladder, I guess I was thinking I was more just at the bottom where a rope would help me climb up. But
well, you're just kind of there's so many of them that you're just kind of you don't have any somnium, so they're not after you, but you're just being caught up in this wave of bodies basically right now. You're, somewhat compromised, so you can't you can maybe try to get up and, right now you can't just move freely basically.
Oh, okay.
There's a huge horde.
I guess I don't.
Yeah.
Well, there's not much else I can do than just cry for help, then, right?
I mean, I don't want to have it too heavy-handed, hand anything off to you, but I mean, yeah, that would be an option. It'd be picture yourself in in a stampede, basically, or a big like a riot or something. What might you do, basically?
Okay. Well, I mean, can I attempt to just get some sort of footing and just move with the crowd?
Yeah, you can do that, and you can. I wasn't trying to like dissuade the action of grabbing onto the hook and getting pulled up either, but
Okay.
just wasn't trying to overly guide your action either. But yeah. So are you trying to throw him a line there, Trimerius?
Yeah, hell yeah, let's do it. Let's try it.
Okay, so you throw this grappling hook out, and it kind of reaches out there, but it's a bit ahead of him. So he might be able to like finagle to the spot where he can reach it. So we'll go to Jerry. And Jerry, let's see if you can maneuver through the crowd enough there to grab onto this line and maybe get pulled up.
Okay. Do you want me to make like a dexterity check then?
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
I got a 13.
Okay, so you managed to wiggle your way up there, and you grab a hold of this hook kind of by two prongs of it. Yeah, you grabbed on.
Okay.
Cool. And then I can pull him in.
Yeah, and your next action will have you pull him in. But in the meantime, the dead kind of continue to spill through here, and some of them are going to start to make attacks on Stephanie. So we're going to take 3 attacks on you, Stephanie, as they're clawing at you. That's a miss, and what I imagine is a hit, and what I imagine is a miss. What's your armor class, Stephanie? Stephanie, can you hear me?
Yeah, hold on.
Oh, okay.
Wait, yeah. Yeah, okay. I thought I was muted, but I wasn't. 13 is my armor class.
Yeah, okay. So that hits you for 5 points of damage. This thing slashes at you as it's trying to get to your jewels. And it is your turn.
I don't have any somnium.
Oh, you don't have any somnium on you? Oh, okay.
Yeah, they'd be going after me.
Okay, well then they're going to rush past you and try to attack Trimerius. Never mind. So we're going to take 3 attacks on you, Trimerius, as they kind of bumble past Stephanie. Yep, that's 1 hit on you for 4 damage, Trimerius.
Okay.
And yeah, now we'll move to Stephanie's turn.
Okay. I have foreseen that it's just like wave on wave on wave, so I yell, "It's never ending! Back to the elevator!" And I retreat to the ladder that like we originally saw the Baron going up. That one.
Okay. So yeah, you head up and you start to climb the ladder there. And Dr. Cumberbund.
Yeah, I'm going to go up the ladder too.
Okay. You ascend the ladder up to this platform. So we'll take it to Trimerius then.
All right, Jerry, hold on. Okay, so I wanna move away from these attacking zombies, but like pulling Jerry at the same time, and just kind of like pulling the grappling hook in. So hopefully we can get him up on there, and then toward the ladder.
All right. In your enlarged form, Trimerius, you've got an 18 strength. You got a +4 strength. So let's do a strength roll for you, and why don't somebody else take it here? Jerry, why don't you roll, if you've got dice?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you roll a strength check for, we'll let her roll one, Trimerius roll one to pull you in, and we can give you one to pull towards her, let's say. So
okay.
Why don't you roll for Trimerius?
Okay. Trimerius got, that's a +4 then?
Yep.
12.
Okay. And why don't you roll as well to kind of assist this check?
And I got a 9.
All right, total. So you managed to pull yourself up and kind of slightly above the throng, let's say, and Trimerius pulls you like halfway over, so you're quite a bit closer, and you're kind of bouncing and kind of doing this bizarre form of crowd surfing on top of this throng of zombies. There we go. Okay, and so you guys up at the top, you can initiate the sequence to get the elevator ready, basically. If you're in agreement with that.
Yeah.
And Trimerius, more of these things start piling in. You said you're backing up, right?
Yeah.
So you back up and you kind of get to the mouth of the stage as they continue to pour in here. And why don't you go ahead and make another strength check to get Jerry up here?
And I'm rolling that.
Yeah.
Okay. That one is a 14.
Okay, and why don't you make one too, Jerry?
And I got a 17.
Okay, so with this last heave of effort, you managed to reel Jerry in, and he kind of bounces over as he's kind of, clambering and clawing his way, and you get up ahead of the group, and you meet back up with him, and you guys are here. And, the dead just, at this point, the walls are starting to come down. There's so many, zombies kind of spilling into the place. And, you see the ladder ahead of you, and Trimie has no trouble rushing up in just a split second. He's up there at the top. I presume you're going up there, Jerry.
Yeah. Give me
roll against failure. There are shaking. The shaking dead are on your heels. Not for you necessarily, but they'd like to climb right over you and get up to the group here.
Okay, so I'm rolling to climb the ladder.
Yeah.
I got 12.
Okay, so you scurry up the ladder, and you all manage to smash your way onto this elevator platform, and somebody pulls the crank. I'll leave that up to you guys.
Yeah, I'll pull the crank.
Dr. Cumberland reaches out with his rapier, and he slaps the crank, and the group, chink chink with a chink, ascends up into the darkness above, and basically just in time to see the this watchtower begin to careen over from the weight of all the zombies kind of clawing at it, and so anyways, end scene as we move upwards into the darkness and towards the surface, leaving the body of the Baron, of the Cropper brothers, of the Chopper brothers, of two of the Baron's giant hounds, and so with that, I think we will go around and do our closing remarks, starting with Stephanie.
Thank God that bastard is dead. He got what was coming to him, and I got what was coming to me. Some more nasty. Also, happy to see that little T has turned into big T.
I know, right?
I hope he gets the hang of his new body and stops just bumping into walls 50% of the time. Yeah, he will. When I was first formed, non-sideshow Steve, Woody was rolling for me, and I was just stabbing at walls. We'll all find through. I'm glad we're leaving the dungeon. I've got my nasty. Stephanie's good. Stephanie's alive. Her me is dead.
Stephanie, what do you think is coming next?
Oh, I don't know. Stephanie's gonna get fucked up. That's
On Nesty?
Yeah.
What do you think awaits you at the top of the elevator shaft?
Oh, fucking Grizz though. We haven't dealt with that. That's coming.
Okay.
There's.
Okay, Dr. Cumberland.
I've finally got my own little status symbol here, this signet ring. I've also got a jacket that used to belong to the Baron.
Pretty much the Baron starter kit right there.
Yeah, I think I might be on my way here. Traitors like him, once you turn on enough people, they all end up dead, in my experience. So he's down there where he belongs, and I think now we've got quite the opportunity to fight back some of these goblins. We'll have our own little manor stronghold if we wish. This wand seems to be fully activated, and I'm ready to try it out. Yeah.
Okay. Trimerius.
Well, that was an interesting experiment for sure. I've got so much power now I've never experienced before, and I really hope that I can kind of figure out how to harness it in a way that is a little bit more effective than what I was trying before. So I'm interested to see where this newfound power goes, and where where it takes me.
What do you think is waiting for you? I guess I didn't ask Dr. Cumberbund, so I'm going to skip back. Dr. Cumberbund, what's waiting for you at the top of this elevator shaft, do you think?
I don't know if there's too many others that are going to be waiting for the Baron to come back up, or his guards, but I think I've got the sign of the signet ring. I think his guards are pretty much mercenaries, and they can be talked in to come and do our aid. I don't think we'll have to fight them off.
Okay,
Goblins on the other hand.
Trimerius, what do you think's at the top of the elevator?
Now, is that a question that I should just answer, or can I
just answer it? Yeah.
Can I just use my scent to figure it out?
Oh yeah, we could do a little bit of that. Yeah. So you sniff the air as you ascend the elevator shaft, and you smell this familiar sour smell. Goblins.
Cool.
Jerry,
Always good.
give us your ending comments here.
Well, I know I told them to go, and I was trying to be heroic and all. I didn't think they'd actually do it, though. To be frank, I'm a little hurt. It's only that crazy rat bastard Trimerius was the one who saved me after all this, and I'm grateful for that. But it does make me weary about proceeding on the greater adventure here with my so-called comrades.
What do you think's waiting at the top of the elevator shaft, Jerry?
Betrayal. Backstabbery. I don't know. I guess there's some talk of goblins on the elevator here as we're ascending back to the light, and with Stephanie, we've yet to see what this Skullfucker Grizz is all about. It did seem like the Baron was in some sort of cahoots with him, though. Some sort of agreement, I think, between them. We haven't really been able to fully decipher what it was they had going on, but I think it's all about to become very clear very soon.
As you're moving up, Langdon is giving his scarred eye a very much a stinky look towards Trimerius Hergum. He's not a fan of this recent change, and was never a fan of the kobolds to begin with. He's greedily holding a few of the bottles of whatever it was that you found down in the darkness, but he kind of feels cheated. He feels like Dr. Cumberbund made out with the Baron's gear that he should have gotten, and he thinks that Dr. Cumberbund is sort of acting above his blood, so to speak, and thinks that he should be the rightful one to have a default to the barony and to the loyalty of the guards, if indeed this is feasible. He doesn't like the fact that he doesn't want word to get out that they off the Baron, or maybe he thinks he can pitch it to his advantage. in any case, I'm sure we'll hear more next week as far as what his opinion about all this stuff is. And yeah, with that, I'm going to end the recording.